A promise. It's a word we use all the time, right? It's a hope, a pledge, something we hold on to for the future. But what if the way we think about a promise is missing its true power? What if in some of the most influential texts in history, it means something else entirely? Let's dig in and unlock this idea together.
No, really, just take a second. How would you define it? It's probably something like a guarantee that something will happen down the road. It's all about hope. It's about waiting. But what if we challenge that whole idea?
So, on one hand, you've got our everyday human promise. It's a hope, it's forward-looking, and let's be honest, it can be broken. But the concept we're exploring today, it's something else entirely. It's not a hope for the future. It's a declaration of a present reality. It's a statement of fact from a divine source. And that difference, well, that changes everything.
Now, what's so fascinating is that this isn't just a philosophical idea. It's actually a linguistic one. The core idea here is that some of the original Greek words that got translated as promise in the New Testament, well, they actually mean something way more active, way more powerful. We might have been reading a translation that misses the original punch. So, that brings us to our first big point. We've got to reframe how we think about this. Let's really dig into this simple but kind of radical idea, a promise. Well, it isn't just a wish. Okay, so to figure this all out, we have to go back to the source, right? To the linguistic roots. We've got to look at the etymology, the very DNA of these words. And our second key point, it all kicks off with the idea of a messenger.
The first piece of the puzzle is this Greek word, aggelos, and it's super simple. It just means messenger, the one who brings news or tidings. You can probably see the connection already. Yep, it's where we get our English word, angel. An angel, at its core, is just a divine messenger. Okay, remember this word. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks everything else.
And what's so cool is you can see how this one simple idea, the messenger, just blossoms into this whole family of powerful concepts. From aggelos, the messenger, you get angelia, which is the message itself. Then you add a prefix and boom, you get Epangelia. That's the word we often translate as promise. Add a different one and you get Euaggelion, the word for gospel. See? They're all connected. They all have that announcement DNA inside them.
All right, let's build on that. Our third section is going to zero in on that first major branch of the family, this idea of God's official announcement. The word we've been calling promise.
Okay, so the word is Epangelia, and it's built from two parts. We've got our root, aggelos, which we know means messenger or message. But check this out. In front of it, you've got epi. It's a prefix that means upon or on. So Epangelia isn't just any message. It's an official announcement made upon a situation. Think of it like a formal declaration that's laid right over a set of circumstances. It's a proclamation. And this right here is the game changer. A promise, as we think of it, is a hope for what might happen. It's kind of passive, right? But in Epangelia, that's an announcement of what already is. It's an active declaration of reality. It's not saying, hey, this will happen someday. It's saying, listen up. This is the truth of the situation right now. And just look at how this completely changes a famous verse like Galatians 4:28. Reading it as children of the promise feels like, you're a child of some future hope. But reading it as children of the announcement? Whoa, that means you are who you are because of a divine declaration that has already been made. Your identity isn't hanging on a future event. It's grounded in a present declared reality. It's a fact, not just a wish. Okay, so if Epangelia is this powerful divine announcement, how does that connect to another super famous biblical word that shares its DNA? Yeah, I'm talking about the gospel. Right, so the word for gospel is Euaggelion. And look, there it is again. Angelos, our root word for message or announcement. But the prefix this time is eu, which means good. So Euaggelion, the gospel, literally just means the good announcement or the good news. It's the ultimate message from the ultimate messenger. Simple as that. And what's amazing is that the biblical texts link these two ideas directly. Ephesians 1:13 is a perfect example of this. It says, you heard the Evangelion, the good announcement, and because of that, you were sealed with the spirit of the Epangelia, the divine announcement. See, they aren't two separate ideas. They're two parts of the same single declarative act.
But hold on. There's one more piece to this puzzle. What happens when a divine announcement like this is made? Does it just sit there? No way. It has this inherent, unstoppable effect. It grows.
And the word for this is oxeno. Now, this isn't just simple growth, like adding numbers. This is a dynamic, powerful, almost inevitable kind of growth.
Think of a seed sprouting or a child developing. It's natural, it's fruitful, and it has its own internal momentum. It just happens.
And you see this word all over the New Testament, describing this powerful, built-in kind of growth. A mustard seed, oxanos, it grows. An infant, oxanos, it grows. And here's the big one, the Word of God, oxanos. It grows mightily and it gains power. This isn't some static concept, it's alive, it's expanding.
And this is where it all clicks together. A verse like Colossians 1:6 ties these powerful ideas into a neat bow. It says this euangelion, this good announcement, is bearing fruit and oxanoing. It's growing all over the world. The announcement isn't just a piece of information you hear. It's a living, active seed that once it's planted, it literally cannot help but grow.
So, after this little linguistic journey, there's just no way we can look at these words the same way again, right? We really do need to read them with new eyes.
So here's the bottom line. The crucial point. It's not a static promise that we're just sitting around waiting for. It's a dynamic process that we get to participate in. It kicks off with a divine announcement, which is, by its very nature, good news. And its inevitable result is powerful, fruitful growth.
So let's go ahead and update our mental dictionary. When we see the word promise, let's think Epangelia, a divine announcement of a present reality. When we see gospel, we'll think Euaggelion, the good announcement. And when we see this process in action, we should totally expect oxano, the inevitable, powerful result of growth.
And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question to think about. If a promise isn't something you wait for, but it's actually a declaration of who you already are and what is already true, how does that change everything? How does that shift the power from some distant future right into the here and now for you?